This news update is brought to you by
Grab somebody and tell them hello. Your happiness will be connected to flow. Smile and cheer because that is we flow. Grab somebody and tell them hello. With your hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air, hands in the air. This is how we flow, yeah. Grab somebody and tell them this is how we flow.
It's Friday, August the 14th, 2015, and this is your Barbados Today morning news update. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Thanks for joining us. We begin with news that the top brass of the Royal Barbados Police Force is suggesting that the force will not be rushed into completing investigations into the death of 6-year-old Jehan King, who died at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital on June the 29th after he was rushed there by his mother, LaSonta Gill, at around 12:15 a.m. Jehan's death attracted national attention, particularly after his maternal grandmother, Margaret Gill, contended the boy had been abused, seemingly by his mother and her boyfriend, Dwayne Marshall. Gill had also placed responsibility for the boy's death squarely at the feet of the Child Care Board, claiming the Child Protection Agency had failed to act despite receiving several complaints about the alleged abuse. On Monday, Ina Brown, the foster mother of Jehan's father, complained in a front-page story carried by Barbados Today that the police investigations were taking too long and questioned why no one had yet been charged with the boy's death. But Acting Assistant Commissioner responsible for Crime Management and Investigations, Livingston Eversley, insisted the police had a responsibility to investigate the matter thoroughly in order to determine how the child sustained the chest trauma revealed by the autopsy. The firm stance taken by the Barbados Secondary Teachers Union to boycott the marking of the schools-based assessment component of the CXC appears not to be receiving the full backing of its counterpart union, the Barbados Union of Teachers. In giving an update on the BUT's official position, President Pedro Sheppel told Barbados Today the results of a recent survey among its members are now in hand, but they revealed an apparent lack of interest to the cause by the majority of teachers.
Let me look at the thing. We would, of course, then publicly put our positions, but quite a number of teachers did not respond actually. I think we would sent out to roughly over 700 members, probably just under 200 responded.
Oh.
So again, but the response basically is supporting the position.
Oh.
But you know, some people say that is not the majority.
Sheppel said the executive would meet before the beginning of the new school term and discuss the findings. Meanwhile, BSTU President Mary Redmond warned yesterday afternoon that her members will not be marking any SBAs when the new academic year starts next month unless they are paid. Queen's College has taken the majority of this year's government scholarships and exhibitions. Of the 27 scholarships awarded for students who excelled in the Caribbean Advanced Proficiency Examinations, or CAPE, and the Barbados Community College's Associate Degree Program, Queen's received 15. QC also got 14 of the 25 exhibitions awarded. Harrison College received all except one of the remaining scholarships, along with 8 exhibitions. The BCC was awarded the other 1 scholarship and the 3 exhibitions. Parliamentary Secretary in the Ministry of Education, Senator Harry Husbands, is over the moon about the increasing interest young people are showing in agriculture. Speaking during a visit to an agricultural camp at Princess Margaret Secondary School, Senator Husbands is even more excited that some young people seem to be interested in pursuing careers in this field.
But they understand the significance not only in terms of producing food, but they understand the significance as a career and the various careers that are likely coming out of this. When you talk to all of them, they're already thinking either in research, the research side, farming, or whatever. So they have a fairly well-developed perspective on what their future is likely to be, and that's good.
There's regional and international news after this short break. can't compare. You just got to love that taste. It's the world-class thing this land makes. Whether I'm cruising or at a bar, whether I'm at home, my back spirit's never far. For this blessing, got to give God thanks. My Barbados, my banks.
In regional news now, a mother's excessive whipping of her young daughter seen in a video that has gone viral on social media has drawn the ire of the St. Lucian Minister of Health, Alvina Reynolds. Reynolds, who sits at the helm of the Human Relations Department, has spoken out yet again on corporal punishment and child abuse. More in this HTS News Force report.
Just last week, video footage of what appears to be a St. Lucian mother beating her daughter with a stick leaked on the internet. The video quickly went viral, sparking a stern backlash on Facebook.
Parents, in their attempt to discipline, go beyond. They use excessive force, and it is when you call into child abuse. And this is what we're looking at as it pertains to how we raise children, how we nurture children. This is what I was talking about when I speak of the need to help parents raise their children, and that's why we are now putting in the parenting programs. We are not saying to parents, you cannot discipline your children. They ought to be disciplined. The question is, and the issues we have, is how.
On the international scene, the blasts in the Tianjin on Wednesday night were so large that they registered as seismic activity in China. An official from China's National Earthquake Network said that scientists were alarmed at the scale of the explosions. The official confirmed that the shock waves from the first explosion were equivalent to detonating 3 tons of TNT. The magnitude that followed the second explosion was 7 times that from the first one, equal to 21 tons of TNT. This BBC report takes a look inside the Tianjin blast zone.
The fire burned so intensely here that in places the metal ran molten and the cars are still hot to touch. And this scene of burnt and blackened cars stretches in every direction, row after row, as far as the eye can see. Well, this apartment block complex here was the closest to the site of the explosion. Now, people much further afield in Tianjin report some damage to their houses, windows broken, that kind of thing. But of course here, because of the proximity, the devastation is so much greater. And every single one of the windows in this whole apartment block complex, stretching back a long way in that direction, have been blown out by the force of the blast. Closer up, of course, you can see the poignant, upsetting scenes of lives dislocated, destroyed perhaps, by the force of an explosion that came without warning around 11 o'clock at night when everybody here thought they would be safe in their beds.
And finally, this story out of Britain. It involves a herd of cows which staged a protest in a supermarket over how much their owners and other dairy farmers are paid for the milk produced. Let's watch this report from ITN's 4 News.
Take 2 cows and a group of angry farmers and watch as a Staffordshire branch of Asda descends into utter chaos.
I wasn't expecting that.
Direct action by farmers is a weekly occurrence on the continent, but when cattle are on the loose in your local British supermarket, you know something is seriously amiss.
Come on.
At the root of this protest, a fundamental breakdown between what happens here in the milking parlour and a few miles away on the high street. We headed to this dairy farm in Buckinghamshire to try and get to grips with the problem.
Not bad for a first effort, but even for an experienced dairy hand like Jess, producing milk is hard work. It's a 5 a.m. start, often doesn't get finished till it gets dark. Yet the price that farmers are currently getting for their milk is way less than it costs to produce.
And that's where we end our Barbados Today morning news update. However, you can join us again this afternoon. Until then, remember to log on to www.barbadostoday.bb, subscribe to our e-paper and email updates, or like us on Facebook. You can also catch us on Izumi Media in bus terminals or screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. Also tune in to Channel 101 on Lime TV and Mix 96.9 FM to get all the latest news and sports. I'm Emmanuel Joseph. Have a fantastic day.